Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, Tasmanians are bracing for more wild weather with damaging winds and heavy snowfall on the way. It's prompted a warning from authorities: drive to the conditions to avoid a life-threatening situation.
It's a sight Tasmanians love to see, Canarney Mount Wellington with a blanket of white, and there's plenty more snow on the way.
We're going to be getting some snow down to about 400 metres in the south overnight, during the night, and 500 metres elsewhere around the state.
Ski lovers can hit the slopes of Ben Lomond already, with the season starting a month early. But that comes with a warning. Wild weather is expected to lash the state in the next 24 hours.
We've got a severe weather warning at the moment with gusts up to 100 kilometres an hour and even more up to 110, 120 kilometres as possible around northwest parts of the state.
Damaging surf caused dangerous conditions earlier today, while drivers are being urged to watch for the invisible threat, black ice.
You need to be extremely conscious of the fact if you're operating in around 0 degrees Celsius driving conditions, there's a potential for ice on the roads.
The SES has more than 500 volunteers at the ready, calling for Tasmanians to prepare their homes early.
It's just about being extra vigilant, knowing that the wind is coming, and you have an extra look around your property to ensure that you're taking that extra level of care.
Northwest coasters haven't been spared either, with trees blocking the Bass Highway between Penguin and Ulverston, causing dangerous driving conditions, prompting this warning from authorities.
Look, if people make bad decisions in circumstances such as these, they not only put themselves at jeopardy and at risk, they also put emergency responders at risk.
Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
And police are investigating a spate of suspicious fires in Ulverston. 5 separate blazes started in the area between 3 yesterday afternoon and 5 this morning. Several vehicles are severely damaged, as well as a boat and toilet block. Police are calling for any information. The public trustee needs to become more personal and accessible, according to its new CEO. Todd Kennedy was appointed late last year, shortly after a review found the organisation has genuinely misunderstood its role for the past 26 years. He believes the organisation needs to communicate better and regain a personal approach. Tasmanians have braved the weather, rolling into Hobart's railway roundabout for a quirky fashion show. Dark Mofo's Mermaids in the Basement performance saw actors emerging from the fountain, symbolising bodies resurfacing from Nipaloona's subterranean water worlds. The shrubbery will be left to decay into a slimy wreath until the festival is over. A new sport has been added to the state government's Ticket to Play program. Tasmania's disadvantaged children now have the opportunity to express themselves through dance.
Preparing to dazzle crowds with a high-energy performance, this dance class is giving young Tasmanians a creative outlet to express their inner superstar.
You build up confidence, so you're not afraid to do anything, and it lets you push your limits so you can try new things out.
Come August 1, dance will be added to the state government's Ticket to Play program, providing a $200 voucher to disadvantaged children for sporting opportunities.
It also now allows students to participate in one winter and one summer sport.
The startup costs can be a lot for new families if it's costumes and then they want uniform and they want to try a range of different styles.
Local dance teachers have an extra hop in their step, seeing their field of expertise finally acknowledged as a proper sport. Along with being good for mental health, they say it's also great for a child's development.
Skipping is one of the only fundamental actions after crawling where you're doing opposite arm to leg. So hitting those developmental milestones in a fun and engaging way is just so important.
The number of sports now available in the Ticket to Play program is 55, ranging from rugby to roller derby.
It's only limited by whether a sport is affiliated with a state sporting organisation so that they've got all the appropriate checks and balances in place.
More than 14,000 vouchers were distributed between 2021 and 22. The state government hopes to expand the program even more in the new financial year. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
A weekend of churning competition is underway with a field of Tasmania's best ploughers doing battle for the state title. Slicing and dicing their way to victory, the winners will progress to the national final in 2 weeks' time.
Digging deep for state glory, 10 competitors carved up a storm in the Tasmanian Ploughing Championships.
They had 3 hours to complete their plot, which is a 20 metre by 100 metre plot.
With only a few hours to cultivate the perfect plot, spanning over half an acre, it's not for the faint-hearted.
A lot of heartache, that's for sure. So a lot of welding and prepping the equipment. So yeah, it's a lot of work goes into being able to come and do this today.
The competition is also a celebration of community.
And it's a worldwide organisation, the Ploughing Association. Just great fellowship and friendship.
Like everyone's competitive, but at the end of the day we can all have a beer and be friends, so it's great.
But before the beer can be cracked open and the winner crowned, the sod must be judged on 12 different categories, including weed control and consistency.
Every furrow should look exactly the same. There is other aspects of crowns and finishes, and all the stubble, which is broccoli here, must be ploughed under.
The ploughing community is celebrating 40 years since the World Ploughing Contest was held in this very paddock.
There'd never been anything of this size in Tasmania before.
There's a lot of history, a lot of heritage.
The wheels will be back in motion in a fortnight for Nationals, where some of the country's best in the field will compete. MAKENNA Bailey, 7 Tasmania News.
The SFL women's representative team were too good for the NTFA in their match at UTAS Stadium. The Southerners opening the game with 3 major scores in the first quarter. Kingborough's Georgie Bailey was the leading goal kicker for the side.
Georgie Bailey makes it another goal for the SFL.
The NTFA kept the pressure on in the final quarter. However, the SFL came away as 30-point victors. In the senior men's match, NTFA won against the SFL by 34 points. In the TSL, difficult conditions have played havoc with all 3 matches. In the TSL, that didn't deter both Lauderdale and North Hobart, who played a thrilling match in strong winds and a muddy playing surface.
It was far from football weather at Skybus Oval this afternoon. With the wind to their advantage, North Hobart went on a kicking spree in the first quarter. Lauderdale seemed hapless, scoring only 1 behind. But the tables were turned in the second half. The Bombers putting immense pressure on the Demons, leading to a home side victory. Moving to the twin ovals, the Tigers and the Magpies played a thrilling first period, both teams exchanging goals in a short amount of time. However, in the second half, the Tigers put their foot to the metal with a dominating second half to earn the victory. Glenorchy kept scoreless for the rest of the game. At Blunston Arena, it was a quiet first quarter for Clarence and Launceston. However, the reigning premiers started to heat up at the start of the second term. Clarence put a gallant effort in the fourth quarter to come from behind, however it wasn't meant to be. The Blues winning the match by 17 points. Mark Zita, 7 Tasmania News.
And South Hobart have taken a 4-2 victory against Launceston City in the NPL Tasmania Development League Grand Final, while Launceston scored first with a fashionable celebration to the camera. It was all South Hobart from the 41st minute. In the Under-20s Statewide Cup Final, South Hobart are leading Devonport by 1 goal in the second half. The Diamondbacks had a dominating victory against the Northwest Hobart Graduates in the Hockey State Club Cup Finals. Max Johnston and Josh Commons assisted and scored in the 4-0 win. The Diamond Blacks will play the winner of Derwent and Canterbury in the grand final. In the women's semis, OHA knocked out the defending champion, Women's Graduates, in their 2-1 victory. Amber Sargent and Madison Brooks were the scorers for the victors. They'll now play South Launceston for the cup final in August.
Good evening. A cold and blustery day today with Launceston and Devonport reaching 14 degrees, Burnie 13 and 12 in Hobart. Across the state, 14 in St Helens, the Islands, Smithton and Low Head 13, 12 in Friendly Beaches and Strawn, and just a top of 2 for Laoini. Cold cumulus cloud can be seen extending across the state today with areas of clear skies in the northeast. And further out, some high-level cloudies moving over central Australia and low-level cloudies being directed onshore over southern Western Australia by a small low-pressure system to the southwest. Tomorrow, a deep low moves further away from Tasmania as the high centre to the west slowly approaches. A trough and cold front are moving over southern Western Australia. Southwesterly winds tomorrow 30 to 40 knots, gradually decreasing during the day. Southwesterly swells 6 to 9 metres in the west and south. There is a severe weather warning for damaging winds for areas across the state, a gale warning for all coastal waters and bays around the state, and a strong wind warning for Bank Strait and Franklin Sound. A minor flood warning for the Huon River and a warning to sheep graziers for multiple forecast districts. And a road weather alert for icy and snow-covered roads around the state, and a bushwalkers alert for the Western and Central Plateau forecast districts. Showers and 9 in Hobart and Richmond tomorrow, 7 degrees in Ouse. Launceston and Devonport 11 and partly cloudy, Deloraine 8. 10 degrees in Burnie tomorrow, easing showers and 9 in Strawn, 13 in Curry. And in the east, 10 degrees in St Helens and Swansea and partly cloudy and 12 in Whitemark. Looking on to Monday, showers about the west and far south, snowfalls to 900 metres. Showers continuing on Tuesday, developing over the north. And on Wednesday, showers more frequent about the north and west. 20 in Perth tomorrow, cloudy and 15 in Adelaide, mostly sunny in Sydney and Brisbane and 31 in Darwin. And it's currently 8 degrees in Hobart and cloudy, and Launceston and Devonport 11 and partly cloudy. And as this wild weather continues, police are reminding people to stay indoors and reconsider their travel. Lou?
And that's all your news for this Saturday evening. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're heading out, please be safe on the roads. Good night.